Official Jorge Prado to KTM, but will it be a boom or a bust? Hey everybody, Walty Wanderers, buckle up, strap in. We got a hard-hitting, pull no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows or sunshine. I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. We got a good one to unpackage today. Welcome to the show. I hope everybody's doing great. Let's hop back on the moto merry-go-round and examine the good, the bad, and maybe a little bit of the ugly.
No, Walty, not the ugly. Only examine rainbows and sunshine and kickstart kitty.
No. Somebody's got to read between the lines and look. Between the moto ruts, we got some ruts to look through today. Welcome to the show. I hope everybody's doing great. So yeah, this is kind of a fun one, right? Today we're going to hop over to the community page of the Walty Wanderers YouTube channel and take a look at a little polling. Maybe to pull a tear off. On an open face, take a lap around some of your comments. Always fun. If you're new, get subscribed. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, today. It's never been a more important time in history to get centered and surrounded with like-minded moto people where iron can sharpen iron. We're sharpening a lot of iron in there. It's been so much fun, man. Thanks, you guys. Really do appreciate it. So, reality is this. Is Jorge Prado about to be El Comunicado? That's for all my John Wick fans out there. Now, listen. Reality is this. He's been spotted at the KTM test track or somewhere. He's on the KTM. It's all but been announced. If it hasn't by the time this video post, it might already be official. Who knows? It doesn't matter. We all know. I mean, right now, the bigger question really for me, and this was another video, so if you guys, like I said, if you're new, man, hop back and search it up. You know, what's going on with Plessinger? Like, I guess they're going to have a 3-rider 450 team, right? And this KTM, obviously, the big news story with them is they were about to fail. That company was failing. It got absorbed by somebody else. And the bikes were just having massive issues left and right. So I don't know if that magically fixes itself. Like Jorge might have hopped out of the frying pan and into the fire over at KTM. But I know a lot of you guys are like, well, Walty, you know, he's the world champ, he's the MXGP champ. And he rode the KTM. I think was it KTM gas something.
Walty, I left gas for Kawasaki for KTM. I'm going to leave KTM for Stark electric bikes next.
And so, you know, maybe this could be. I mean, I know one of you guys were saying like, dude, I think Prado potentially could be the dude that takes down Jet. Like, it would surprise me. The bigger question, really for me, let's say hypothetically, he did. Let's say George, the quitter, as some of you guys call him, takes down the Wonder Boy, the chosen one, the face of the industry, the Moto Messiah, the alien. Let's say he actually did it. Do you think that would magically get us all warm and fuzzy about Jorge Prado? I think he's stained. His name has now been stained. And it was, I think he could have minimized a lot of the damage, but that last round where he tried purposely not to qualify, that was a big one, right? Because that just showed kind of his true colors, because most guys are going to go out there and at least still race for pride. He didn't have that. Now, I'm not inside his head. There might be more than we know. But the reality is this. The way it looked, the way it was received, the way it was communicated and perceived, it did not help him at all. So the $1 million question now is, I mean, he's got potential. And listen, Jorge, if you're listening, my brother, we've all had haters. I mean, here's the thing I always say. If people are talking crap, bro, at least they're talking. That's the mindset you got to take with this one, dude. And hopefully you are. And I'm sure you don't run your social media anymore because it would probably be brutal in there. I would hate to be inside there, man. So I'm sure you have somebody else running it for you. And you're off at some nice luxury home right now, chilling somewhere, maybe playing video games or in your private gym. I don't know. I'm sure you're enjoying yourself probably as most as you can. So I'm cheering for you because I want anybody to just take it to the Wonder Boy. But the reality is this. The $1 million question, even with all that aside, is this switch to KTM going to be a boom or a bust for you, Jorge, and KTM? Because KTM, I mean, any press sometimes is good press unless it's really negative press in terms of like what Jorge did to Cowie. There was just nothing good for Cowie. Maybe helped Jorge because he became a little more, we talked about him. And like I said, if they're talking crap even, at least they're talking. So it actually gets your name trending, which is actually good. It's like Vince Freeze. Not many people like him, but he made a name for himself as the villain. But Jorge, you're kind of in a different basket than the villain. You're known as the quitter. So that's the big question now. Really, what I wanted this one to do, and what we're going to look at right now, is we're going to cut over to the community page and take a look at some polling. And we asked, is Jorge's move from Kawasaki to KTM going to be a boom or a bust? Let's jump over, take a look at those results, take a lap around the comments, and we'll meet back here and wrap it up. Let's get started. All right, race fans, buckle up, strap in, roll up your windows, lock your doors, throw on your open face and a fresh pair of tear-offs because the roost is about to fly. When asked on the Walty Wanderers community page of the YouTube channel, will Jorge Prado be a boom or a bust for KTM in 2026? 26% of you said it's going to be a boom, bro. He's going to light it up. While 74% of you said it's just going to be another bust, bro. We've seen this movie before. Well, let's go ahead and jump in and take a lap around some of your comments. First up to the starting gate, YZETC comes in with, I think he'll have a much better season in 2026. Boom, and there it is there. Chalk one up to the boom column. Thanks for the comment. Let's use up next. David Lucas pops the clutch and goes flying down the start straight and comes in with, top 5 at best. Once a quitter, always a quitter. Bam! And there it is there. Chalk one up to the bust column. Thanks for the comment. Let's use up next. Jerry Hill pulls a fresh tear off and goes flying by and comes in with, George will never compete for titles in the USA. He has the wrong mentality. Blood sport, Walty. He should take up underwear modeling. Boom! And there it is there. Chalk one up for the bust column. Thanks for the comment. Let's use up next. Rob8331 grabs a handful, gets all out of shape, and comes in with, that rear shock will boom and then bust this season, and he will have a good excuse to quit this time. Boom, and there it is there. That will definitely give Jorge more than enough to pack it in again. You're right, my brother. Thanks for the comment. Chalk one up for the bust column. Let's use up next. Jay's Smokey fires up his two-smoker and comes in with, he's riding with Tomac. He's back on the bike that he won titles with, and you guys don't think he'll improve? Well, my brother, now there's a question mark if even Tomac's going to go to KTM, and I believe our buddy George was on the gas. But I get it. Thanks for the comment. Chalk one up for the boom column. Now let's use up next. Last but certainly not least, Datsick LML crosses the finish line, lights the candles, gets the Bubba neck burn, and comes in with, I think he was done with Kawasaki before it started. After all that bad talk with his name, I think he'll have fire under his KTM to repair the damage done. Boom, and there it is there. Could that actually help our boy George get something done by getting a fresh start with KTM? He better hope so, otherwise the roost will definitely fly. Thanks to everybody who participated. Make sure you guys jump in and read the rest, but pull a fresh tear off because the roost tends to fly. Now let's jump back to the studio and wrap this one up. All right, friends, welcome back. And there you go. So the overwhelming majority of you in the polling said, bust, bro. Jorge is a bust. And even in the comments, like I said, thank you to everybody participating. Make sure you throw on an open face and a fresh pair of tear-offs and go get in there. But be careful because the roost tends to fly. There's a lot of comments that we couldn't get to, but the majority were quitter. Jorge is a quitter, dude. And that's something that you don't just recover from magically. Now, if he went in there and started lighting it up, we would start to slowly go, okay, Jorge, but we'd still be like, but you're a quitter. If things go sideways, we know what you're capable of doing to a team is shutting down. In my opinion, dudes, if Jorge can actually improve himself over with KTM, let's say he even gets in there and starts winning, it would take him probably a good solid year before he could shake off what happened to Cowie, if at all. Because we've seen when Danger came in with a lot of naysayers, myself included, you rushed him in. Why rush him in this early? You could have kept him in the amateurs another year. And it worked out, but it was ugly at first. But within a year, he had pretty much recovered from that. Jet Lawrence, the same thing. Came in, donut selling, pushing VIP experience, clearly owned by the Moto Swamp. Grabbed Ando's helmet and shook it. Did some things where like booed him. He got his. Everybody's going to get their hazing, even if they start winning. But especially if they have a little controversy that followed them. And this is Gladiator Games blood sport. So if you don't have any controversy, it's a miracle. So it took Jetson about a year now. And even now, there's always going to be people, I don't want to call them haters because I don't think that's fair, but there's going to be skeptics, right? We're going to have skeptics for sure. We're going to have fans and non-fans. That's what makes our sport so cool because we're so passionate about the riders that we support, right? And if you've thrown a leg over a bike like the industry swamp hasn't, this is a brotherhood. We're all brothers, brother. I mean, anytime if you're motoing, I go moto all the time, and sometimes I take off from the house, go find some dirt on my dual sport. Other bikes riding by, I don't care if it's a Harley or a dirt bike or a Vespa or whatever the case may be, wave at each other. What up, brother? That's the kind of sport that we belong in. That's why I love it so much. And final thoughts, I come to you as a friend, as a content creator, as a moto guy, wants to see not only when on the track, off the track. Understand the waters you're swimming in now. They're shark infested. Jorge Prado, welcome to the swimming pool, my brother. Most people say you're going to be a bust over at KTM. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Eli and Plessinger if he's still around. And you, Prado, how do you fit in with our American heroes? You got some Euro now in the middle. Euro sandwich, basically, between a couple of our American heroes that we're going to definitely cheer for a lot louder than you. The only way you're going to silence those cheers is to beat those guys, and it could end up being a double-edged sword for you as well. Because if those teammates don't really dig having you around, your life there is not going to be as fun. The reality is this. We've got a lot of prima donnas in the sport. Money is coming into the sport, and a lot of these guys, they don't care. They have their own little motor homes. They just come, get on their bike with their mechanic. They're not spending as much time with their teammates. Probably Plessinger's the only one that's going to be at the Baker's factory, if at all. We don't even know if his health is going to allow him to burn the candle at both ends like the Baker's factory tends to do to people. I'm not sure Prado is even willing to go over there and do that. Hopefully they're going to force him into the Baker's factory because I think that'll be good for him. He needs to somehow make friends with his teammates and the other riders, but most importantly, the fans. But that's why Walty will be here to blow the lid off it every step of the way, because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Social media links in the description of this video if you'd like to follow me there. Simply search up Walty Wanders MX on Instagram. If you enjoyed this video, you're going to love the next video, and there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time. Don't go over the bars. God bless. I'll see you on the next video.